Deon Price, This Youth Generation, Life of a Youth Worker. Very interesting dialogue and conversations and social media discussion is happening this week. And it's mainly on relationships. And I don't normally get into those, but this one touches on something that speaks to the very population that we work with in youth services. A popular doctor, Dr. Ayana Zanvant, had an interesting conversation in her show involving another popular influencer or high profile individual. Basically asked this woman, would she date a bus driver? And her response was, no, only if he owns the bus. And this is where it speaks to us. This is very concerning because it's a critical mismessage that's sent to the very population that we work with. My life's work in improving the quality of life for young people includes helping them understand how to obtain, maintain, and retain gainful employment and identify those occupations that could lead to sustainable income and financial stability, turning a job into a career. And for someone on a high profile platform to send the narrative to demean an occupation like a bus driver is a very ignorant and irresponsible thing to say. So I'm involved in this conversation. I want to jump in on this and tell this young lady, do you realize that a bus driver in the United States, municipal cities, are making up to nearly six figures? The average salary of a municipal bus driver in New York, California, major states in Texas or whatever, the majority of them are starting at $68,000 to $70,000. So within a few years, they'll be making six figures. So basically, a seasoned bus driver in a municipal city is making six figures. And this is the very target that most superficial women ask for, those sixes. One of those sixes is 6 foot tall, six figure, six pack. These bus drivers that you demean, that you pass on, that you look down upon are six-figure high salary people. What an ignorant thing is. Let me help you understand this, right? The average salary of a man, particularly man of color, in the United States between 30 and 40 is only $35,000 a year. Let that marinate. A man of color, African-American, non-Hispanic, between 40 and 50, average salary is $48,000, okay? Yet these occupations, like a municipal bus driver, school bus driver, city bus driver, particularly in California, Muni, BART, these are high-paying jobs. The wealthiest man I met when I moved up here from Southern California to Northern California was a bus driver for Muni. He worked for 35 years. Very wealthy, owned property all over the Bay Area, traveled the world, very affluent, educated, intelligent, a bus driver. How dare you demean, or in my opinion, disrespect a very respectable occupation? And here's where it's dangerous, because it sends the narrative to young men and young people that we work with to pass on a respectable occupation like being a bus driver. And it sends the missed message that an attractive woman will not see you as value because of your occupation. How simple and superficial is that? We have to be more responsible with that. But there are people out there like this Ebony K, ignorantly, not in a negative way, meaning you have no idea. She needs to inform and educate herself what value really is. Don't look down upon an occupation that can really be a high salary job, right? I'm working with you right now to help young people transition into those high salary municipal, Muni, BART, transit driver. They make their solid, very good salary jobs. I have several very close friends in my personal life that work for municipal drivers, the Muni, BART, AC Transit in the Bay Area. These are well-salaried individual homeowners. They're very well off. They're making good salaries, admirable salaries. It's very ignorant of people to make these statements when they really have no idea what they're saying and how much damage and misleading messages that they can send, right? And overall, it speaks to our superficial, materialistic misunderstanding of what success is, right? It sends the message that success is only monetary, high profile, and occupations that sends the message that labor jobs like bus drivers and plumbers are below standards, when these are, again, some of the wealthiest individuals. If you read a book called A Millionaire Next Door, it brings out how majority of average millionaires are tradespeople, contractors, plumbers, these type of things, these type of occupations. Get in the know, do some reading, educate yourself before you make these large statements that are not true and they're misleading. So I just wanted to jump in on this and remind those people who may be watching, particularly young people, don't let these simple, high profile, shallow individuals on high profile and these platforms mislead you into passing on occupations that can lead you to sustainable employment. Maintain your power and your value, whether you're a bus driver, a plumber, a contractor, or electrician. These are not glamorous jobs, but they are stable and successful, respectable occupations. And let's put some things in perspective. As long as it's legal, it really don't matter what your occupation is what you do with the money that you make. There can be some very successful, high profile positions, people in these, and we've seen high profile versions of this disaster of mismanaging their money, whether they're athletes or entertainers or in the arts. But because of their bad decisions and their mismanagement of their money, they struggle. The men that I mentioned earlier who were successful as bus drivers were also very responsible with their finances. My ex-father-in-law, who passed away, was Granddaddy Caddy, Papa Will. Got to speak his name in appreciation. This man taught me so much. He was an educated, very intelligent, and very responsible, a great mentor, great money manager, and he was also a bus driver. One of the smartest and intelligent and wisest men I knew was a bus driver who taught me so many things. But he did great things with that bus driver salary. He was making well over six figures when he retired. And I spoke and I participated in videotape and helped facilitate his retirement party. He was appreciated, he was valued, and yes, he was loved, and he was a bus driver, but he was a very wealthy bus driver, not only in monetary sense, he was loved by generations of people. So how dare you demean or speak down on those individuals who happen to drive a bus? They are valuable people. Just a thought, just a message. This youth generation, Deon Price, just a humble servant trying to make a difference.